Yeah, well, I was living in Kauai at the time, and I was flying in the plane on Christmas Eve, and I mean, to be honest, it felt like I had a really bad case of blue balls. I was sitting in my chair and I was squirming and I was trying to find the right positioning and I couldn't, and it was not comfortable. Um, but so when we landed in Kauai, I was driving home and still feeling a little bit, but not as severe. But when we got to home, my house, my son wanted to jump on a trampoline. So I said, okay, let's jump around. So I jumped around a couple of times and then I did one big jump and landed and I felt the pain. I felt, my thigh just, it felt, ooh, that wasn't good. And I lifted up my shirt and I just had a large bulge on my left side. And it was a hernia. So
Mm.
it
What kind
was,
of hernia was it?
it's inguinal
Okay,
hernia.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So, yeah, I went to my doctor friend and he was just like, "Yeah, it's a hernia. You either A, can get the surgery, or B, just live with it."
Mm.
So, I didn't like either of those options.
Mm.
So, yeah, it was painful to even walk, and I'm, on Kauai, I was known as the ambassador of play, and I would every weekend, I would go to the beach area. There was a farmer's market that I play in front of, and I'd kick around the hack and get people to play with me.
Mm.
So, um I couldn't not do that. It was just imperative that I fix it. So,
Mm. So what was it? What was it about the surgery that you kind of thought, oh no, I don't fancy that.
oh gosh, when I reached into the mesh, I was looking into researching it on the internet, and it's just having a foreign substance in your body starts rejecting it. It can try and push it out through your tissue and stuff, and
Mm.
once it's in there, it's an irritant, so your body starts creating connective tissue to hook with it, and that's part of the fascia. So if you start having troubles, and there's a large percentage of people who get the hernia, the mesh, and like the problems don't show up until years later. But by that time, the body's so enmeshed with it that you can't really take it out because it's catastrophic for your whole body.
Mm.
The fascia is all interconnected, and if you cut a big hole out, it just destroys everything. So that with the problems that you even going into surgery, there's always a risk with surgeries.
Mm.
And I knew immediately I didn't want to do the mesh, so I actually started doing research into alternatives. There was a place up in Canada that would use a steel wire instead, which was okay. But and then I found a guy in Italy who would use your own tissue to do it, and I was actually making plans to go to Italy to actually do the surgery.
Mm.
But that was my then ex-wife at the time. We were raising my son together. She said I couldn't go. She was like, "You can't go.
Mm.
You're going to be taking too much time out."
Yeah.
So,
So so what was it about putting up with it for the rest of your life that you didn't like?
well, yeah, that wasn't an option. I just I love life too much. I love playing too much. I was also with the Kauai had an ultimate disc team, and that was
Mm.
where my community was. We go out and have practices, and the games that we've have. It was my way of really connecting with people because I wasn't a surfer, so I didn't have my
Mm.
surfer crowd. So the ultimate disc people were my people. So for me not to be able to do that, for me not to be able to kick around one of these things, just simply wasn't an option. I'm like, there's no way. So
Mm.
I said, let me just find out how to do something different.
Thanks for watching this video, and you can find the full-length podcast episode here on this channel, or you can head over to Apple Podcast or Spotify, and don't forget to like this video.